Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a really profound teaching from a Buddhist master, and it's one that completely challenges how we think we learn and even who we think we are. It all kicks off with one pretty radical idea.
Okay, let's just let that sink in for a second. Humans cannot learn. That's a bold statement, right? What this is really saying is that everything you think you've learned, from riding a bike to speaking another language, it's not really learning. It's something else. It's conditioning. So what on earth does that mean?
To really get what he's talking about, we need to look at this concept from Vietnamese Buddhism called huân. And honestly, it's a brilliant way to rethink our whole relationship with the stuff we know and the things we can do. So how do we wrap our heads around this idea of conditioning? Well, the master who teaches this, he uses this fantastic analogy, one you're going to get immediately. Just picture it. The second you walk through that door, you're just hit by it. That amazing, powerful smell of fresh bread, maybe some sweet pastries. You don't have to try to smell it. The scent just kind of takes over everything. Now, this whole thing happens in two parts. The first part is huân. That's just you absorbing it. You hang out in the bakery for a while and the smell gets on your clothes and your hair. Then comes the second part, tup. That's the practice. You keep going back day after day. And before you know it, that bakery scent, it's kind of your scent.
And right there, that's the perfect picture of how our learning works according to this teaching. All our skills, our habits, our knowledge, they're like that scent. We get them through repeated exposure and practice, and they get stronger and stronger until they feel like they're really a part of us. But are they?
Okay, so this idea of a temporary identity built from all these habits, it leads to a really important question. What happens when you stop going to the bakery?
You know what happens? Sooner or later, after a few days, that bakery smell is just gone. And it's exactly like that with our conditioned knowledge and habits. They're not permanent. If you stop practicing a language, you start to forget it. You don't play guitar for a year, you get rusty. The scent just fades away.
So this sets up this huge distinction, right? On one side, you've got conditioning, the scent. It's temporary, you have to acquire it, and you can lose it. But on the other side, you have your true nature, the gold, and that is permanent, it's always there, and it's unchangeable. So this self that we build from all that conditioning, our career, our personality quirks, our political beliefs, that's called vong dung. You can translate it as an illusory thought. It's this sort of false self we've put together from all the scents of our life, our family, our school, our culture. It feels incredibly real, but it's not who you truly are at your core.
So, wait a minute. If the self that we know and live with every day is just this temporary collection of smells, this illusory thought, then who or what are we really?
You'd think the obvious question is, okay, so have I just forgotten my true nature? It seems logical. But the master's answer? Well, it goes even deeper. He says, no, that's the wrong way to look at it. You can't forget something you were never even aware of to begin with. Think about it. This isn't a problem of memory loss. It's a problem of discovery.
And this is a total game changer. This one sentence flips the whole metaphor on its head. We stop being someone who goes out and gets a scent, and we become the source of something precious itself.
You don't have to go find gold to add to the mine. You are the mine. Your true nature, the gold, is already in there. It's just all mixed up with a bunch of dirt and sand and gravel. And what's that dirt? That's your conditioning, that huân we talked about. Your habits, your fears, your illusory self. So the job isn't to learn something new. It's to refine what you've had all along.
Okay, great. So we're all sitting on a personal gold mine. Now what? How in the world do you start digging? How do you actually separate that precious gold from all the dirt it's mixed in with?
Well, the master lays out this really clear 4-step process. It's like spiritual metallurgy. First, you have to realize there's gold in there. You have to learn to see its glint in the middle of all the dirt. Second, you start the long, patient work of separating it, pulling your true nature away from the gravel of your conditioning. Third, you purify it. You melt it all down to burn off the last little bits of impurity. And finally, you solidify it. You cast that pure gold into a solid ingot,
something so stable it can never be mixed back in with the dirt again.
And this is the ultimate payoff. See, unlike that bakery scent that just fades away, this refined gold is permanent. Once you've really realized it and solidified it, your true nature becomes this unshakable, unchangeable core of who you are. It can't be lost or forgotten.
Now, this whole framework, from the bakery to the gold mine, it's a beautiful idea, isn't it? But it's not just a philosophy to admire or a nice story to tell. It actually comes with a very direct, personal challenge.
The master is super clear on this point. This is not about faith. You're not just supposed to take his word for it and believe that you're a gold mine. You have to do something else entirely.
You have to test it for yourself. He basically says, look, if the method is sound and if you are determined enough to see it through, you will verify the result. You will find that gold in your own mind. It's a guarantee, but one you have to prove to yourself.
And you see, what this does is it shifts everything. This isn't a religious belief system you have to adopt. It's a personal, scientific experiment into your own consciousness. The map is there, the instructions are there, but you're the scientist who has to run the experiment.
So, if this teaching holds true, you're not just some person walking around collecting temporary skills and habits like a scent. You are literally sitting on a vast reserve of pure, untapped potential. So the only real question left is, what gold is waiting to be discovered inside you?